Welcome back to Modern Mystic Messages. I'm Teresa, and we're going to keep on moving. So now we are past 99. By the time, let me see, I unplugged from television 99, 2000 ish. By 2002, 3, I think I wound up leaving my youngest child's father. So I was kind of out there. I was back in my hometown. It was 3, I think. And I tried really hard, and things just wasn't coming together. I like some family stuff that happened that wasn't very kind and wasn't very helpful, but it put a lot of financial burden on me that truthfully at the time, with the transportation and job options I had available to me due to limited transportation, I was not doing well financially, struggling to keep things afloat with my kids. I wound up moving around a little bit, trying to get jobs. I went apart from them, like moved down south, trying to get a better paying job to move them down there. That didn't work. I had to come back. I wound up doing a couple of jobs through like an agency and basically worked myself into bad health, but that wasn't quite working either. And finally, things kind of came to a head. And in 2000, by 2007, I wound up leaving Florida and going to Virginia. And again, I did the wrong thing for the right reasons. I wound up in a situation where I was back with, well, not back with my ex, but living under the roof with my ex, my youngest child's father. And like I said, there was no romantic reconciliation, but again, like we kind of trauma bonded and limped along together. We're not together as a couple. After we initially broke up, there was no together as a couple, so it was never about romantic reconciliation. But we stayed in each other's lives a lot longer than we should have. He he depended on a lot of the emotional support and like handling business thing in lot. We, like I said, it was a weird power hour or division of whatever between us, but we were still in each other's presence in that weird let's remain friends thing. But anyway, I went to Virginia and 2000s. Okay, I'm gonna back up just a little bit. 1999, I saw the Matrix. It shifted a lot, even though I didn't know it. By 2007, I had my first clairaudient experience, even though I didn't quite understand what was happening at the time. I was dating an older guy and wound up going to a Seventh Day Adventist revival meeting. And I remember zoning out on there because I was so upset. I'm like, if these people had me up and down on this hard floor, my knees are hurting. I'm tired. If they had me on this floor one more time, because witnesses don't do that. I mean, they pray a few times during the service, but that constant up and down on the floor on your knees, and I'm a big girl and got bad knees, that wasn't sitting well with me. So I kind of zoned out during the service. And that was the first time that I heard a thought that I know for sure I did not think. And what I heard was that I was going to need to learn another language and that I'd be moving to Africa. And at the time, my girlfriend and I were talking about wanting to do humanitarian work and stuff. So we thought we were going to be doing orphanages or I don't know, whatever. That was kind of where her heart was at. And she's done a few mission trips and things. Um, but that's kind of what I thought it was going to be at the time. And then I didn't think anything more of it. I was just like, you know what? You show me what to do, Lord, and I will, if I got the means and know what to do and where to go, I'll do it. That was, I mean, I just kind of tucked the thought away and got back to the business of trying to live. Um, by 2008, excuse me, I was in. I was working at Shields Tavern in Colonial, Virginia. I'm not even sure that theme park is still open, but it's like a colonial reenactment park in Virginia, and I was working as a waitress in the tavern there. I only mentioned that job specifically because I actually understand now that Spirit was looking out for me, and I actually had a few signs along the way, if you will, that happened in and around that tavern life. But in 2008, I received my second clairaudient message that I was aware of, and I mentioned the tavern because it involved a lady that worked there, or part of it did. I awoke. Excuse me, I gotta get a sip of water. I woke up at like 1:30 in the morning, and I can't forget because I remember looking at my phone. But I got up to go to the restroom at 1:30 in the morning, and while I was sitting there half asleep, all of a sudden in rapid fire succession, it was like three thoughts just came zooming into my head. And one of them was about, well, actually four. One of them was a number, and I say three because at the time I thought the number correlated to the first message. I'm not entirely sure at this point that it does. It may still be relevant to something for me later on. Not entirely sure. But I did get a very pointed message for the guy that I was seeing at the time. And the second message was for a lady that I worked with. And I honestly cannot remember her name. If you ever happen to see that video or this video and you know what I'm talking about, please feel free to DM me because I've tried so hard to remember her name. We weren't super close at work. She had come in, she hadn't been working at the tavern a whole long time, and we worked in different sections, but we were friendly enough. And when I went in to work that morning, I gave her the message. I was like, look, I got a message for you. You need to go to the doctor, not now, but like right now. Do not go home and go to, you need to go to the doctor. And I gave her the message and went on about my business. I didn't see that lady for almost 2 weeks. When she came back to the tavern, she hugged me so tight, I thought that she was going to break my ribs. And she was like, I don't know how you knew. She was, never mind, I do know how you know, but thank you. Come to find out, she was a Desert Storm vet with shrapnel in her head that had previously been inoperable, but the shrapnel was on the move. The doctor said if she had not come in when she had, she probably would have gone home, lay down, and never woke up. So she listened, thank goodness, and she was fine. The message that I'd gotten for the guy I was seeing at the time was involving a lawsuit. He had a huge one, and the message was if he did not settle the lawsuit with the next offer that they made, that it was going to all go away, that he should settle. And this is the same person that had me trapped in thoughts of spiritual inadequacy, basically. Kind of low key has never really wanted to listen to the fact that I had any form of clairaudience. He was the one that was so spiritual and so advanced, and he knows, and he got to go with what his spirit tell him. But spirit always tells him stuff that winds up costing him money or being the wrong thing for almost everybody around him. But he claimed he would listen to me, but didn't. Anyway, he didn't listen this time either, and it cost him millions of dollars, a whole lot of millions of dollars. And then the third part of the message was something that I didn't want to believe or dare to believe, or even I thought it was symbolic because of what it was. It was, the message was I would be blessed with another child. I was 39 years old when I heard that message, and I still ain't had another baby. And I don't know how that's gonna work out. Look, I'll be Sarah up in here if look, if the manifestations that I've been shown and the vision that I've been shown come into fruition, I will be more than honored to be Sarah number 2.0 all over again, because truthfully, I love my children and I don't regret anything as far as any sacrifices or hardships or any of the rest of that. And part of what I've manifested are dreams that I hold dear for them too. But for the honor and the privilege of being a caretaker of a divine being that I know that a lot of these star seeds that are coming onto the planet right now are, to receive a measure of physical rejuvenation and financial windfall, blessing, whatever it is that comes forth to make it possible. to raise that being in a truly loving environment without financial worries, oh, I would take that all day. I would take that all day. And it's truthfully, my twin and I both are closing similar cycles, karmic lessons, if you will. We both went through the whole codependency thing. We both went through narcissist and toxic family and all the rest of that. We both wound up in going through poverty cycles and all. So if we figure that piece out and we're blessed with a child, oh, it would be, I have no issue with that. I just didn't dare believe it because, like I said, I was older, didn't have any real relationship prospects in my life. And like I said, and my tubes were tied. So I'm like, that couldn't be what it meant. I kind of sort of still believe it is what it meant because of messages I've gotten in 2019 and coming up until now. There's a lot of stuff that really make me believe there may be some however that works out, whether it's surrogacy, adoption, I don't know. And that ain't my business. I'm at this point I'm just trying to get to the next phase, which telling them my story is the beginning of the next phase and then the next step and the next step. Spiritual GPS only give you one step at a time. So 2008 was also the year that I was introduced to The Secret. Again, I don't watch television and all that other stuff, so it was actually a friend of mine at the time who was telling me about The Secret, and he just kept talking about it. He kept talking about it. And I'm going to cut off here and we're going to come back in because, yeah, we're getting to the good stuff though. And I'll be back in a flash. Love you, fam.